So, hi guys. As you can see, it's a fresh new day and it's a fresh new moment, right?
Yeah, and we are back again here with a new episode of Buzz Podcasts.
It's not about buzz actually, but it's a podcast that we thought we'd share because as you know that we are entrepreneurs from here in Kolkata. We are local entrepreneurs and we wanted to share our life's journey and the moments that we come across and the people we meet and the experiences that we see. So yeah, this is that podcast.
So, yeah, it's the first episode of Buzz Podcast presents What's Up? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
What's up? What's
like
going
we
on?
always do.
What's popping?
Yeah, exactly. And it's been like a couple of weeks that we've been a bit off social
Yeah.
media and everything. So, hi guys, for those of you who don't know, hi, I'm Rahul.
Hi, I'm Rohit.
Raajbir over here.
Nobody cares. Yeah. So so it's the three of us, and like right now, I don't know what we're gonna talk about, honestly speaking, but hopefully
Because
we're gonna talk.
we don't follow a script, right?
Yeah, so we talk about a couple of fun incidents that go on in our lives altogether. So as Raajbir already mentioned over here, that is we have been working on a startup, right? Here from Calcutta. But that's not what we're gonna talk about, right? We're just gonna talk about the different type of people we meet, the different type of experiences we have, and the different sort of bullshit stuff we gotta see on a daily basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it. So firstly, how's it going, guys? So Rohit, how's it going?
I would have said it's going great, but it's not really. But I think it's fun. Yeah, things are really fun.
He just stole your line, so I don't think like you have anything more to say. He just said it's
Well,
fun.
I can always come up with a new tagline.
Yeah, sure, you can.
Takya Kalam. Okay, the new tagline is Dadu.
Is not dead, but still okay.
He is for me.
Yeah,
That's a bit sad.
Yeah,
Now, that's a bit sad though, but anyways, okay.
That's
let's
sad.
not talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you know what, like it's like I'd say a couple of months that we've been, meeting a lot of new people.
Yeah,
right?
one
Every
second
day.
before we go into that, nobody asked you. So what's up with you?
What's up with me?
Yeah.
Well, honestly speaking, I don't exactly know. I'm a lost soul, and he's gonna pop the coke right now. So yeah, great. So yeah, I think I'm a lost soul. I'm right now. I don't know. I'm trying to figure things out, and so I'd say it's very difficult. But whenever I'm on the road and I see all the poverty, and I see all the people, and I'm like, really, we need to do something about it. We need to solve the problem about money, and that's exactly it. And I'm really, I'd say, emotionally devastated by seeing the poverty on the roads.
He's just fucking around, guys.
But we are
He doesn't care about
we are very
poor
selfish
people.
guys. Anyways, we don't
Yeah,
care.
we are
about
very
this
capitalistic.
country.
We don't
Yeah.
give a shit about other people. Just our money. That's it.
No, the thing is this, I'm genuinely very moved. I'm genuinely very moved.
Yeah, moved as in like when you were going through the cab and you were moving past the poverty people.
Yeah, but I had to move past them, right? In order to live.
Great.
In order to
Yeah.
live, guys.
Yeah.
In order to live. But anyways, like a lot about that. Thank you, National Geographic, for actually showing India that way. You guys are a bogus people, doing bogus stuff. And
Fuck
I'm going
you.
to say it right now because, you shoot wildlife and then you shoot, rural places in countries which also have better places to shoot at. But that sells, right? But today we are going to tell you about stories, about people,
Yeah.
which is the ground reality about what happens. Okay. So, let's start it off, and we all have experiences and stories to share, I believe.
Yeah.
So, I'd say, essentially, once you're building an app and it's in the field of social media, right? So, essentially, we are, or I'd say we have to be a lot active on social media these days. And so, let's talk about a platform that everybody uses today, LinkedIn, right?
Mhm.
And, I go on LinkedIn every day because I need to find connections and everybody, right? But, what I find generically these days in LinkedIn, all fake people. Like social media is fake, right?
Yeah,
But
yes,
in,
it is,
yeah, you remember that dude who said that like if your back is against the wall, then he will be there to support you. But then text him up and he's like, no, but I will not be able to do that because
It's just
ultimately,
for the TRP, yeah.
yeah, ultimately it's just for how can I say this, for gaining momentum, access, and all of that. So that was a really eye-opening moment to see that people on LinkedIn are always saying stuff that they don't mean, and then we started saying stuff that we don't mean, but it didn't work out, so we just say stuff that we mean. That's just it. So I'd say like so these last couple of months altogether, Raajbir, let's start with you actually. So these last couple of months actually, I remember we've hosted quite a couple of events and everything.
Yes, vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
We've hosted a lot of events.
Yeah, around the flow altogether.
Yeah.
So, let's go back to the, first phase of all of this, right? So, we generically...
Not sponsored by Coke, by the way.
Yeah, so we generically meet a lot of people, right? Essentially speaking. And so, tell us a little bit about your experience about meeting new people in this walk of life, yeah? How's it been?
Through the events, but more specifically college events, oh my god, we have promised so much, right? Before, actually giving them the sponsorship, going over there and having a talk. And then you just look at it and you're just standing vast in the middle of nowhere. And there are people who are not even, they don't give a shit that you're on stage. They don't give a shit that you are being a philanthropist and paying their college money to have their fest organized. That sounded so rude, no?
Philanthropist. Bill Gates, there's a shout out to you. You and your philanthropy made Windows a multi-billion-dollar company. How is that philanthropy? How is that capitalism? We don't know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Yeah,
Anyway.
So, I remember amazing experience that we had over at Ashutosh. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so it was basically like a hall full of people, right? And it was the hall full of the most uninspired people I've ever seen, like students who are going nowhere and they want to go nowhere. The only things that are on their mind is being cool in the college. I think being the general secretary of the college or being in favor of the ruling party.
Like staying in the college even after you get graduated, or better, you don't have to get graduated.
Just stay there.
Yeah, that works actually.
Yeah,
If you're earning a lot of money, staying in college, right? Why get out of college, man? That's the best life
doesn't
anyway.
mean anything,
Start selling drugs to a bunch of college kids and you're rich.
What's
That
the
works.
degree?
No, it doesn't.
Sorry, we don't condone all
We
of
don't
this. It's
condone
just for
all
media.
this. Yeah, it's just we are just having fun. We're just
Oh, it got stuck. Great.
You gotta stop snorting from there,
Actually, everything is not ASMR.
snorting coke, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So, picking up from Ashutosh, I remember a certain situation over there when we were there in Ashutosh, right? So essentially, it was a crowd full of a lot of people. Yeah, it was a crowd full of a lot of people, right? And people essentially like kids, from college. Everybody is like freshers party, right? So, I mean, everybody wants to get laid, I believe. Want to find new chicks and chicks want to find new guys. So it's just how it is. Pardon my language though, but this is just, how it is, the ground reality.
Though I hardly believe in Ashutosh, they have this kind of mentality.
You hardly believe in Ashutosh.
Exactly. That is,
You hardly believe in Ashutosh.
that is the proposition, you know what? So, Rohit, coming to you right now, we had a certain experience in Ashutosh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I believe you had a very different sort of an experience in Ashutosh.
Yeah.
Walk us through.
Yeah, what?
Before we get into this, I would like to say this, and the curl even fell. So, Rohit, how was it? What did you do? What was the abracadabra moment for you?
Why did we go to Ashutosh in the first place?
To promote buzz.
To promote buzz, right? So,
The low-key thing is to get laid.
but we went to Ashutosh and I had a good experience. I spoke to a lot of people. Okay, I got to know how was the environment, how was the atmosphere, how was the life in Ashutosh. Okay, and that was very, what's the word for that? It was very
Young.
knowledgeful for me. Because to be honest, frankly, I am from a college where there was no life. Okay. And don't get me wrong, Ashutosh doesn't have like that at all. Okay, but anyways, it's still, better than my college. But what I did was, I spoke to a lot of girls over there. Girls, yeah.
Plural.
Not women.
So what was the experience? Like, how did the girls ultimately start screaming your name?
Like he was on the verge of getting crowd surfed.
It's my aura.
Technically,
my
it's his
aura.
aura.
Yeah.
Technically, it's his aura. You know.
I don't have to do anything.
Rahul, you want to talk about aura? Let's talk about aura.
I just want to say energy, strategy, and
And
possibility.
possibility.
That's exactly what exuberated from Rohit that day. And the young girls over there were all, I think, pretty.
Mesmerized.
Yeah.
by his
Mesmerized,
presence.
right?
Well, this brings me to a funny new thing altogether. A couple of days back, I was walking through social media. Apparently, there's this bad misconception that women run behind money. Okay, I don't know why. So this guy, purchased a new car, okay, and gave it on social media. And he was like, all the girls have started texting him. He wrote it on social media that all the girls have started texting him. What does this mean? Does this mean, Raajbir, that women run behind good cars and buying a car meaning you have good money and that's why they're running behind you? Or like they genuinely love you?
So I'm going to take a very diplomatic approach about this. Okay. In his case, I think he was the one who was running behind the money, and then the women were running behind a man who was running behind the money. But if a woman is running behind the money, I mean, she's ambitious and she has goals and she's doing good shit, then that's the woman you want to be with, right? Because you know that nothing matters to her except for taking care of her family and getting rich to that point and ambitious. And so I think that's what you want. You want a woman who runs behind money, because in today's economic situation, would any of you want to get married and settle down and have kids?
Yeah.
You have to send them to school, and that's a huge investment.
Yeah.
That's why I think people in Japan stopped having kids altogether, because he's just going, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think it in a different way, I would say. Right? See, women are attracted to a lot of things.
Like,
It's going to be a little bit explicit, but yeah, anyways, I'm not going to say that. They're attracted to a lot of things, but what if you don't have those? You need to have something, right?
yeah.
Money is a generic thing, Money is a generic thing. Women are attracted towards money.
Mhm.
Yeah. But if you
I'm-
don't have anything, you don't have that Excalibur, okay, you need to have money.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think
sure.
that's what was with that guy, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think,
also,
Rahul?
it's
What's your opinion?
With regard to women, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in my last couple of years of dating experience, I'd like to say, this I know.
You dated in the last couple of years?
Yeah. In the last 5 years, I mean to say.
Okay. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I think from you
Sorry,
can
I'm
consider
sorry.
from.
I love you, man. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding around.
No, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least I choose the type of people I want to date.
That was uncalled for.
So yeah. So okay. So in my dating experience, I get to say this. I've been to multiple places. Whenever you get into a relationship or even start meeting someone for the first time,
Mhm.
I've dated a lot of people, and this is a true fact, honestly speaking, that out of 9 out of 10 times, figuratively, when the bill came, first the waiter always presented the bill to me. Now that's society, but that's totally fine.
That's a norm, yeah.
But then, what
That's
happened?
not, yeah.
What happened? What happened was very simple. Was abracadabra, and my bank balance was a bit low than what it used to be. So the fact is this, and it's very simple. 9 out of 10 times, I believe, my bank balance was the one that was getting a little bit out of the zone. But one time, this one girl actually said that she would want to Dutch. And she said it something like this.
What, man? I can't hear you. I think, yeah.
I think she was referring to a food that was from Dutch.
No, Raajbir, you have to understand one thing. Women are emotional beings. And they express themselves in a more expressive manner than just saying things out loud. So you got to understand, man.
But how do you understand if a girl wants to Dutch? Like, you go in the first date and, you are a man, so you have your own honor. And you reach for the bill, and it can go like one of 3 ways.
Don't
I
reach
think.
for the bill, just sit back.
Just be like, grab it, bitch.
Like, if you're doing that, then number 2 possibilities will happen. Either you will get dumped,
Yeah.
or second, you won't get laid. Now, which of the scenarios you want? Getting dumped? Neither. Right? Neither.
Yeah.
So just accept the bloody fact.
Then you have to pay for the bills.
Yeah. And that's it. That's as simple as that. But now coming to an alternative scenario over here, a couple of days back, as we were talking about, these college events and everything. So a couple of months back, I believe we were on the road, right? When we were pitching about buzz. Okay. So let's talk about a guy's life right now altogether. Okay. So we were, pitching about buzz to a lot of people, and buzz is essentially, for those of you who know, it's a social media application, where we help people meet new people, and that's a cool new thing, right? But the fun fact is this, matlab, it's like you could have said that you want to meet people because you want to make new connections and all of that, but we very well know why people want to meet new people in concerts and events. Everybody is want to get lucky, right? That's the basic point, and that's the first thing. The first thing when we went and pitched to Buzz, to some guys, the first thing they come and tell us is this: can I get laid, bro? Can I get laid?
That's the only thing.
So I just stopped pitching. I just go around and say that if you're lucky and if it's mutual, that is, if it's mutual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he, she, them, they,
Z,
her, what, not, can get laid. Now it's up to you how the Z, the zers are going to do it. But it's life. You got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, that's about a bunch of, experiences in terms of people and people attributing to their nature. So I think it's a long prospect about, going around, meeting a certain set of people and then coming to this understanding, which people don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
There's been this one situation that I've heard while, pitching about Buzz, that everybody uses dating apps these days, right? That is Tinder, Bumble and all of these applications. I've seen this specific thing go around that a lot of people are on dating apps. You have seen their profile on dating apps, and when you go and ask them, they'll say, no, but I'm not there.
It's a fake account.
No, but Raajbir, what do you think? Why is this thing stemming up? Why?
I think it's majorly because people just want to go out and be like, I'm not desperate, right? Because if apparently there's a thinking that if you are on a dating app, then you must be desperate because you couldn't score a chick or a guy in real life. That's why you had to take the help of the internet. Like, you couldn't score it the traditional way. So that's why you had to take added help. You had to buy Tinder Gold. You had to do this or that, right? To get laid. And that's why I think people are more embarrassed to admit that, okay, fine, I'm on a dating app. But it's so normal, man. If we are living in 2023, I've seen, I went to DPS and I've seen guys who were in class 11 and 12 being on Tinder and getting matches. And they were fine with it, right? So that's the thing. They were boasting about it. Because when you are a kid and you are actually dating someone, it's a huge deal for you. It's your problem and you make it everyone's problem. You just go to their faces and be like, yes, I'm in a relationship and I'm on Tinder, man. It's so funny that it changes, right? When you get to college and everything and you're like, no, I don't want to seem desperate. I want to be on Tinder. I want to meet new people, but I don't want to seem desperate. Majorly, you know what? Girls don't want to, I don't know how... because I'm a boy and I don't know how girls have been raised, but certain girls, I'm not talking about all of them, but they think that if they show any type of affection or if they take the initiative to start dating or approach a person or something, they think it's very weird for girls to do that because girls in traditional sense have to be reserved. They'll wait for a guy to come and approach them. They have to be that damsel in distress, please, I'm in dire need of a relationship, please come and approach me.
The way you put it actually,
yeah,
ever watch those Hollywood movies where there's this one disturbed dude who goes to find a treasure hunt somewhere, and always the treasure is somewhere in the Amazons or somewhere like that, right?
In a very dangerous alley.
Yeah. Now just think about it in this perspective. You want to find treasure, right? Treasure is something which is scarce, meaning it's got high value. And now, since you're going to find something of high value, you got to go through the Amazons, you got to fight a lot of monsters, you got to, risk your life for it, and then you find the gold or whatever is a treasure, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that answers your question over there.
Yeah, I didn't have a question, but yes, that is the general state of things.
Yeah. So, the best part is this. that he was just talking about high schoolers, right? And in high school, essentially, when you go to high school, right? So let's segment it this way, age groups of people, right? That is the initial age group of people. I'm not going to kids, obviously. Kids don't know shit about all that. But talking about the teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Teenagers, young adults, and then people beyond the threshold of 35, right? So these are three very broad categories of people, So if you go to teenagers, right, high schoolers, I've seen this, that in high school, I met this guy from high school a long time later, actually, very young guy, So he was like, I'm in love. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck are you talking about? You're in love? I'm in love with this girl. And how do you express love? Just in love, man. I'm
What
like,
is love?
exactly. Do you know what love is? But yeah, it's like, you know what? They're like, I'm in love. So when it comes to the general perception of love, I always advocate this, that in order to understand the true essence and happiness and fear and everything of love, you have to find a toxic girl. Once you find a toxic girl whom you genuinely love, what happens is this: your perception about love becomes much more clearer. Now, I can see the look on Rohit's face right now. So definitely, if you want to challenge and contest this particular statement,
Thing
you
is,
can.
Yeah, it might be. I would say it's opinionated, but yeah, if you can find a girl who actually understands you the way you are, and you feel like whatever you have been thinking, you want to share with her, or you want to share with someone else. Okay, can read you inside out like an open book. Okay, I think love has a very broad spectrum. Okay, so this thing contributes into it. Not always you have to be with a toxic girl to express love or to experience love. Okay, but I feel like the girl, it's kind of a feeling that, see, I also agree with the fact that high schoolers and teenagers, they don't know shit about love. They don't know. It's called infatuation, to be honest. Okay, they don't know. They don't know about a thing or two about love.
It's called
Okay,
damnum.
it's called damnum. Yeah, true. Okay, but I feel like when you grow old, when you become an adult, okay, in your adolescence, you feel certain things. Okay, and you grow more mature or more complex emotions. Okay, and love is one of them. It's not actually easy to explain. Love can be liking a girl. Love can be being with a girl. Love can be being with someone. I'm not talking about only a girl. It can be of any gender. Okay, I love having chips. Okay, I love these chips, but obviously I'm not gonna fuck it, right?
It was so clear cut on that, yeah.
Yeah, so people has different perspectives on love, but I believe that it is a very complex phenomenon, and it's better if we don't talk about it.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's leave
yeah.
Christopher Nolan to it, for his
Yeah.
next movie.
I would say not Christopher Nolan, maybe Nolan, Krishnakant Nolan. Yeah, he's a very good director,
Yeah.
guys.
He
So,
just has
yeah.
Nolan Gore and he just makes movies, man. He's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, he's just woke.
Come on. We're talking about love and I have a heart-shaped place over here.
And
Good,
this
good
heart
camera.
exactly shows the actual reality of how a heart might look. It's not like this. It's something.
That's inside my mouth now.
Yeah, that's inside his mouth now. Now it seems really bad. But about the age group of people. So essentially, putting a bit light over here. Basically, high schoolers, as Rohit mentioned, are a bit infatuated with life. Altogether. Like you can't put a strong word like love and emotion just by seeing someone and getting attracted to them because you just look at them and you like
Yeah.
what you see. Essentially, that's a very big problem because in the initial days of your life altogether, you form these figurative speeches with people with whom you don't even have a deep bonded connection with.
Mhm.
And then when these things don't work out automatically in the long phase of life,
Yeah.
you get a better understanding about who you're actually compatible with and what you're actually searching for in terms of your relationships, in terms of anything actually, honestly speaking. That is why when people are young, they say that I want to be a pilot, I want to be this, that, like basic kid stuff that is generalized today. But when you grow up, you actually get that perception about where you fit in
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
with your sense of understanding.
Yeah.
So I'd say the age groups of 16, 17, 18, trying to figure it out and everything. They say it's a transformative years of life. But I'd say it can go well into your 20s as well. For some instances. Yeah, it can. And after 35, people are just desperate. Who are, I see a lot
People
of...
who haven't settled down yet. They are like, nahi, abhi to chahiye.
Yeah, so you know what? I met this guy once, okay. He's like around, I think, 33, 34 years old, okay. So, tentatively, basically, you know what? He sponsored in a college fest, okay. The reason why he sponsored in a college fest was because he liked a girl in that college and he wanted to grab her attention desperately. So, he sponsored in that college fest. 2 consecutive years. The girl was in a relationship at that point of time.
So desperate, man.
But what happened to this story right now, if you ask me? Meaning, the story is something like this, that the guy who spent money on the sponsorship, okay, 33, keep it in mind, it's not some dude, some bloke who has a lot of money, dad's money to spare around. No. A random bloke who just took some money out just to spend on a college fest, 33 years old, my friends, okay.
At the time that she was in college.
Yeah, I think so. Figuratively, maybe 30 back then. Okay. So the fact is this. So that money went in just for the, grabbing a girl's attention altogether. Well, he was successful. So that's a very good thing on that end. But that's the point. That's the lengths that people are willing to go to.
People can go to what extent,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah.
Such extent.
Like, what? I'll tell you. Like, say for example, there's a thief, right, who wants to rob a house. They rob the house at night and the next day they're going to, a family luncheon. Okay. And the family is really happy because the guy is, sponsoring the entire feast at that afternoon. So ultimately, guys, the U-turn that it took is this, that it doesn't matter how you do what you do. What matters is the end result.
Yeah.
So the thing is this, until and unless, your results are not giving you the desired output that you're willing to achieve, so the process does not matter. But that doesn't mean that you'll go and do unethical stuff, right?
Yeah, that doesn't mean you'll keep an employee in your company and not pay him for like 2-3 months straight, right?
No, but you paid them with experience. The experience of never trusting a guy.
It's not always about
Yeah,
money,
see, here's the thing. You're talking about this as bullshit, right? You're talking about very materialistically, you're saying that money gives you value, right?
Yeah.
But experience gives you more further value because, what I'm telling you, like the guys who were there in that phase were expecting something out of that. They went through a hellish hellfire, right, altogether. But right now, they're much more suitable in living life.
Yeah.
I would say they're tormented. They're crooked. They've been crookified. The new word Oxford Dictionary, crookified. If J.K. Rowling can create Harry Potter, then I think we can create words out of thin air as well. Crookified, yeah. So crookified, and their minds get completely twisted. This is another thing when you meet certain people in their walks of life, right? It's not that generically they're always like that, but people go through certain situations that make them,
All sorts of fucked up, yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of fucked up is the colloquial lingo that would be there. But essentially speaking, just broken. That's the point. So, this is another set of people, that actually, generically, these are people who roam around just you and me on a day-to-day basis. And that's a very tricky situation to, dive into and look past, actually. So, the better thing is to actually be a bit more conscious and to take decisions, just like this.
Yeah. And also, if the decision is to use a word that you're just using it, spelling it out phonetically, don't do it. That's not a good name for your company. I'm just saying. Anyway, sorry, let's move on.
Again, horns beep.
Yeah.
But the dictionary gave a horn as a beep only because it sounds like a beep. Right? That's the basic innuendo, If it doesn't sound good, just beep it out.
I have no clue what bit out means, by the way.
Beep.
You have to beep.
Yeah.
Just beep.
Yeah.
Beep as in
Beep. Means we would never get to know what you were very willing to say because you just beeped
if
it out.
I am using a slang words against you, okay. So what I'm gonna say it right now. I would say beep, right?
Yeah.
If I say
But what is
it
spit
loud,
out?
it's gonna be explicit. What would I say? Beep. Raajbir, you're a beep.
Why is everyone cursing me out?
It's
I'm
like
such a
that.
nice person.
No, because see, it's not about being a nice person. Nobody gives a shit to a nice person. You know, like you'll see hundreds of these reels surfacing the internet which advocate today that don't ever be a nice person, right?
Mhm.
Seen these reels, right, altogether. So, what are reels actually advocating towards these days? Shit. But they're advocating that if you be a nice person, people will take advantage of you.
Talking about social media and people on social media, right? We started off with LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
I can say there are a spectrum of people on LinkedIn who just don't care about anything. Okay, not couple of days. I would say 6 months ago. It's been a long time. Okay, because right now the so-called recession has hit. Okay, so I'm not sure what that is and how it's that affecting people. Okay, but before that, right? There were lots of people, getting jobs in MNCs. I'm not going to name them, so-called FANG companies. Okay, and they're just posting big LinkedIn blogs over there. Okay, and I even saw some of them posted blogs after they got sacked of the company. Okay, they said that it's been a huge opportunity for me working for that company. I got to have a huge experience. I got a lot of knowledge, and dude, they just sacked you. They just kicked your butt. Why are you licking their
See,
butt?
this is the worst phony attitude of people. That is, see, fan companies, you name them, right, altogether.
Yeah.
So I saw this technical, post on LinkedIn a couple of months back since we're talking on this topic. So it went on like this, that this woman, she was sacked from Google, okay, and she was such a suck up, okay, that she essentially went on LinkedIn and just thanked Google, why for sacking her. No,
Yeah.
just said that as Rohit mentioned, like the experience being a noogler, referring to herself as a noogler,
Still ex-noogler.
Now,
Yeah.
put this same person. I'm not saying, but
She
figuratively.
even put the word ex-noogler in her LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
bio.
yeah, because it adds value, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not the point. The point is that this same woman, I'm not saying this woman, might not be, I'm saying the same category of people, you put them in a company that's not that well recognized like Google, maybe a big company itself.
Yeah.
You will see them bashing the shit out of the company.
Mhm.
What changed?
I think that's what happened. Like we are seeing like videos and posts about like companies like a very big tech company who are just like I think exploiting their employees, and then also a huge MNC. Name starts with a C, by the way. Anyway, yeah, they are also like doing a lot of shit, and people are actually beating the shit out of them. Do you think the same people would do that if they were fired from like a fan company? No.
No, it's all about brand value.
Yeah.
Right. Like today, say for example, you are selling something, right, in the market altogether, and you are selling it under a name that has a lot of value associated with it.
Yeah.
People are not buying what you're selling. People are buying an association with that value.
Like, I'll give a very good example of that. So we all know that. Are you guys sneakerheads? Like, do you follow sneaker culture?
Like to a certain extent, not much. Yeah.
Okay.
Not that much.
Suppose I sell you guys a shoe
Yeah.
which is worth 500 rupees.
Yeah.
Will you buy it? It's a cheap price. You'll buy it.
No,
Suppose
I won't.
Okay, you won't. That's fine. We are not talking about you. Now, suppose I sell you a shoe and say, "Ki, this was the shoe that Michael Jackson wore during his performance in Italy or so, and
knows
it's
the price
priced
to
at
2,000.
5 lakhs. Everyone, because then it becomes a collector's item, right?
Yep.
So I think people are doing that to themselves. They want to be collector's item. Like, okay, I worked in Google. I'm an ex-noogler. Now I'm a collector's item. If I go into your company, I'm doing you a favor. No, bro. Google left you out because they didn't have projects for you because your skill set wasn't supported in Google anymore. You think you
Because
can?
they didn't care. That's
Exactly.
a funny fact. Yeah.
But now, on the contrary, like coming back to this scene about what we're talking about right now, we've been building a business for the past 1.5 years, right? It's been a struggle altogether. Now you'd see this, and this surfaces on LinkedIn and in our ecosystem a lot, right? That if you're from an IIT or from an IIM, when you graduated from there.
Yeah.
Essentially, these VC firms or these so-called investors, they will entertain you
Yeah.
further than from being from a regularized engineering college, So the fact is what are they measuring over here? I went through a very informative post out of all this bullshit even. Was this that, the fact that you were able to crack into an IIT proves that you have the inner metal to actually, take up hard situations in life and to get the best out of it. Now here's the point. Today, say for example, as Raajbir mentioned, he wants to do a business in sneakers. What would class 11, 12 physics, chemistry, mathematics and cracking that give him on there? What? Manufacturing and designing sneakers?
You don't even become street smart or you don't learn problem solving skills in school itself. And that's when people are preparing for IITs and
schools, colleges, all institution does not actually prepare you
For
to
real.
become, a problem solver or to face the real life
doesn't.
challenges.
Yeah.
They just prepare you to become a factory worker. They're gonna sell you to multiple companies, and they're just producing workers for the MNCs, for the companies. That's all. They're gonna give you the taste of real life.
No, but coming to the point of this particular scenario, don't you think that IIT and IIM, it's a lot about the brand that is actually evaluating a person's inner, merit. Like, if you today are able to solve a problem very perfectly, you would hit 10 doors, people would not want to listen. Why, Because you're not validated by any, how can I say this, value built up brand or something like that. Technically, if you're not, right? But you have a very solid product, I'll tell you, if it takes an IIT IIM grad maybe 5 to 6 months to float a product and a solution out in the market with money, it would take a generalized person, who are not coming from an IIT or IIM background, at least a minimum of double that time to float it up. Maybe sometimes people can't even float it up because they don't get into that smear network altogether. So I remember that a couple of years back, there was this whole controversy in the market about nepotism, right? And people were all going gaga about how the film industry promotes nepotism. See, the fact is very simple. Even in IIT, IIM, right? Since I won't say that everybody is not of value. There are a lot of people of value, definitely. But since their brand value gets associated in such a way that they can accelerate their life faster, again, by proving that they're good in physics, chemistry, mathematics in 11 and 12, that's why they get access to resources a little simpler, in that prospect. And now what happens is this, then they will invest in the people who are coming out from the same rigor from which they were associated with.
Yeah.
That means an IIT founder will most likely be interested in investing in an IIT founder itself. Now, would you call that, value in a particular, indicative manner that, value is getting...
It's kind of an indirect nepotism itself.
It is nepotism.
Yeah.
It is nepotism. So let's not blame, people for promoting nepotism. It's just natural in the sense that today, say for example, if you had a relative of yours, who was doing something, you would generically invest in them rather than investing in a stranger. But because, let's just be frank, people will always value people where there's a common ground of connection building. Like resonating factor. That is why, it's always imperative that when you are approaching somebody, right, you need to put in the effort in establishing a common ground of connection. Which brings us to the next topic of discussion, that is this. When you go and want to start an initiative conversation with somebody, right? Essentially, say for example, in a dating scene, if you consider, if you're going up and wanting to meet a new girl, right, altogether. So the first thing that you do is, after exchanging names, pleasantries and stuff like that, after checking each other out, when you come to the probability that, okay, this is a person with whom I want to, take things further. So when you think with the mind and not with the mind, right? When you think with the actual mind, it is like...
When the blood is only rushing to your mind.
No, mixed. Yeah, mixed. Yeah, mixed. Yeah, how many of you like, mixed chow mein or mixed fried rice, right? Everybody loves the chicken, the shrimp, and the egg. And even if somebody puts in other elements, in the other part of the world. So that's that. But, coming back to the point, we try to establish a common ground, right? In the sense, we try to ask the imperative questions like, what do you like in terms of what movies you like, what songs you like. you know why generically these are the most commonly asked questions when you are actually meeting someone new? The fact is this, that, you know, when you ask someone that what movie you watch, essentially, like if I go and ask you, hey Rohit, what movies you watch? You share a certain list.
Yeah.
I have a certain list. Now we have something common in that list. We have a good ground to start a conversation.
Yeah.
Right? We have a good ground to start a
Yeah,
conversation.
or if it is like, you know, ekdom extremely polar
Opposite.
ideas, opposite, then you have a ground to like start a debate or start a conversation. Which
Might
is
be.
also like,
And even sometimes what happens, if it's totally in the opposite direction and you're seeing that, like today if I say that, you know, like, yeah, I'm into more slice of life stuff and this, that, and the girl is like, but I only slice onions. Then that's a point where the blood will start gushing only to your mind.
yeah.
You know that's the switch that turns off.
Yeah. No, but I think I loved having because we are Indians, right? It's a very common culture to have proper, like, you know, informal debates in our everyday lives. Like, you know, if I tell you that, okay, I can lift this can of Coke up till here, and you're like, no, you can do more than that, or no, you can do less than that. Like, if I tell you, if you're my like employer or something, if you're somebody who's taking my interview and I tell you that, okay, I know this about Java, and you always come up with a point like, okay, so you don't know about this, and then we start a conversation, right? Because that's where the debate occurs. I think that's a very good ground of, like, you know, coming to, because
Continuing a conversation.
yeah, continuing a conversation. It gets hard to continue a conversation after a certain period of time. I think it's the same for dating as well,
Yeah.
especially in dating.
Yeah,
You-
just that you don't want the conversation to get hard.
Yeah, exactly.
You want something.
Yeah,
more.
but one side she's talking about,
Something
oh my
else
god,
to
I
get
have
hard,
such a
right?
cute dog, and then I was
Beef. Yeah.
like,
But
no,
yeah.
it's more like, yeah, it can be like one side she's talking about, okay, please see my dog pictures and everything, they're so cute and everything, and I'm like, okay, oh yeah, my dad is dead. Instant conversation killer. That's what you don't want. You don't want blocks in your conversation. The conversation is to, like, you know, flow smoothly.
And this doesn't mean that we are advocating that these are the points you need to follow. There's no such thing called a perfect pitch.
Nah.
You know, these are just good names for a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Okay. The fact is this, that, you know, do take a conversation naturally.
Mhm.
It's as simple as it goes,
But
right?
I
Follow your
know
gut.
a couple of folks, you know, they're the founders of a big company.
Yeah.
I would say a social media company, dating app company. They shared a couple of things on a podcast. It was a podcast. It was a YouTube video, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was a panel discussion, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Mhm.
They shared, you know, dating 101. What kind of pickup lines would you would actually work for you? Like, how would you know what's gonna work for me?
Yeah. How would you know the kind of people I'm dating? How would you know
Yeah.
if, like, yeah.
There's nothing called, you know, that's the pickup line that's gonna work for
Yeah.
you. No, it's nothing.
Like,
It
some
should
people-
come from your heart, and
Yeah.
you know, it's being
Yeah.
instant in the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
Rohit, think about it this way. Think about it that you're a bloke, you're not getting laid, you don't know shit about how to interact with women, you don't know how to take
Then I'm
things.
gonna follow someone blindly, right?
Exactly, right? At that point of time, if you see these dating coaches online,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, if I see this video, my chances of converting, you know, a situation like this would be really high. Because you'll be desperate, right? When you're inching onto something. But generically, what these blokes mean to say is this: there's a generic pattern, you know, like, see, when you're running a company, we also get to see a lot of data trends, right?
Yeah.
That is, you know, this sort of conversation takes more, this
Yeah.
sort of conversation does not. How do we come to a conclusion that what takes and what doesn't? Depends on, like, the majority of people accustoming to one line over the other.
Yeah.
Like, if today I tell you, like, I like Domino's pizza over Pizza Hut, and if you also reciprocate, and
Yeah.
if, you know, 10 more people like us reciprocate, automatically the word is going out that Domino's is better than Pizza Hut.
Yep.
But who is saying that Domino's is better than Pizza Hut? People.
Yeah.
Ultimately, and that is exactly what any person is trying to convey in a generic sense. Just that, you know, they say it as an imperative notion that, you know, this is what you should do, but the rather talk of the conversation should be this. This and this are things that gel well. You might get success, you know, following this, but technically speaking, it depends from person to person.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
take advices with a grain of salt. You know, the last time, you know, but sometimes you also end up getting bashed up
Yeah.
in the interim. Yeah.
It's more like if somebody is teaching me, like suppose I'm a teenager and you're my big brother and you're telling me that okay, whenever you go out on your first date, you should always offer to pay first. And suppose I'm going on, God forbid, I'm going on a date with a girl who's like, I am self-independent, I don't need no man in my life. And you reach for the bill, or worse, the waiter hands the bill to you. You are fucked, my friend. You are fucked left, right, and center.
You know what you just mentioned right now, the woke culture. On Reels I was seeing, I didn't even know that shit like this existed. In Reels I was seeing that this guy was interviewing this girl, okay, and she was saying that in the West, okay, people are now more inclined in dating Asians. Why? The girl mentioned it very prim and proper. She claimed a term called passport bros. Okay, called passport bros, and
What's
I
that?
was like, what the fuck is that, right?
Yeah.
It is like this that the generic term is like this. It's been coined in the West that since women in the West today are very woke, right? That's why guys find it very imperatively difficult to tackle people over there. So that's why they would want to date Asians because they think that Asians are generically less woke, timid in nature, and you gotta understand, guys. The Grimm and stuff like this originated from Japan.
Yeah.
Do you really want to get yourself fucked up just because you think it sounds timid? That's like the worst instance. Like, this is the worst thing I would say. You know what? Be woke.
Yeah.
But, the timid people, I'm more scared of timid people than of,
I know,
more
right?
expressive people out
They're
there.
just like
We had a lot of experiences with timid people actually, yeah.
Timid people are something like this. Someone who's a poker face, right? You ask them something and then they're like, okay. And then you're like, holy shit. So a person like this can never exist.
Yeah.
And then you get the damsel in distress out altogether in the next couple of weeks, right? Like, again, this is generic. Okay. Not everyone is like that. You might find your Cinderella. Please go on
No,
bars.
as you said now, you were talking about like,
Passport bros, right?
passport bros, but these are the same people in East who you were calling out that, okay, some people might like mixed fried rice, some people might like mixed chow mein.
Bro, see, if you see the Indian market statistics, okay, and if you go on Swiggy and Zomato,
Yeah.
you'll see that people order a bunch of shit. Now, this was again something very, very interesting thing, Now, here's the fact. People don't like sharing their, this notion that they're on a dating app, right?
Mhm.
Now, like when you go on different social media applications, we were actually thinking about what feels to add an interest. Okay, so people share the Spotify playlist. Why? To show people that, okay, this is the type of music that I listen to.
Yeah.
That's fake, most of the times. Because people portray that this is the type of music I want to listen to. Because listening to that music would validate to the people that they're cool.
Mm.
Now, the second thing...
Interest in dating app are always fake, yeah.
No, I'm not going to talk about dating apps actually. Even Facebook started this, right, in the first instance.
Yeah.
Like Zuck had all these crazy evil-minded ideas. Okay, that is, let's put interest, let's put this, let's put that, let's just crookify the entire prospect. But no, here's the fact. How many of you guys would be interested in sharing your food ordering history? Do you think that that's a very private thing to your life?
I won't. Yeah,
I won't either.
Right?
Yeah.
But why? You, say for example, you order varied different types of food. Are you embarrassed to tell people that you ordered this type of food, or are you predicament to judgment?
No, nothing. I would say none. Okay. But I just don't want to share this kind of personal information about my life, what I'm gonna do, what I do in daily basis,
Oops,
usual
sorry.
basis, and why would I?
Yeah.
That's the question. Why
If
would
I had an option of like sharing a part of my life or not, I would choose not to. Because
You can say something that you like a certain cuisine or something, okay, but you are going to a hotel, okay, would you share it? I went to a hotel. You're meeting I went to a hotel with this girl last night. No, obviously, that's a deal breaker. Okay. Same goes for the food. If you're doing something in your personal life, if you're ordering something, I'm ordering chips, I'm ordering momos and all, okay, I can say it this way that I like momos. Not like this that I ordered momo last night.
yeah,
Why would I?
that's like oversharing.
Then why
Yeah.
are you sharing your goddamn fucking Spotify playlist? Why would you want to share what you listened to last night?
True.
Why would you share? Why would you share which movie you've been to last night?
I wouldn't. Why would I share that which I'm flying from which city to which city in which airlines?
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you share all this data,
State is
honestly
simple.
speaking? Essentially speaking, if today, you know what happens, I'll say this was a very odd thing, that is, food. You know, if we consider about food delivery and all of this, you know, we won't be comfortable in sharing what we ordered. The fact is this, and it's as simple as it goes, that it's something personal to us, that's definitive.
Yeah.
But when you put something out on social media, it has to do with the fact that how is it perceived by n number of other people on social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
Like today, you know what, we are, you know, I'll tell you, we're doing this podcast, we're having, you know, junk over here right now. So, you know, like people will go on and say that these people are
Fat
fat
fucks.
fucks, yeah. But you know, everybody praised Cristiano Ronaldo when he threw the Coke bottle out, right?
Yeah.
Remember, and that plunged the share price of Coke a lot.
Yeah.
You know, now if that was the case incident, that what if in the backdrop if this happened, that Coke was offering CR7 a deal of maybe, you know, sponsoring or branding their particular items, and the deal didn't work out, so he just took it out on camera like that. Again, you wouldn't pin something like that with a big athlete, because the notion goes like athletes promote athletic culture building.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, what athletes promote these days, athletes promote a very unrealistic vision about normal life. Like if you went 50, 60 years back or 100 years back, you know, having a six pack or something like this wouldn't have been perceived as something as a regularized person would be, you know, running towards. But you see hundreds of people going to the gym, right? How many people would go to a gym because they are into physique building, and how many people would go to a gym because just a six pack looks good to, you know, in front of a camera? You know, how much of it is actually going into the fact that you want to be healthy, and how much of it
It's
is
always the
actually,
second option.
yeah, it's going because you want to look good.
Yeah.
So the fact is this: what's the difference between a gym and a salon?
I mean, in the gym you pay the money and do the work yourself. In the salon you pay the money and somebody else does the work for you.
So imperatively, this is again coming to the fact that people want to be judged in a particular way. So today you would not be interested in sharing your food ordering habits, because the fact is this: you are sensitive about the fact that what you're ordering today.
Like, it is mostly because anything you put up on social media will be very open to criticism and anybody can do it.
Exactly.
Randomly, like, you know, in our bus posts as well, random people come and they say a lot of shit, right? And we can't react the way that we want to react because we are professional people, right? And in some way,
Yeah,
I
but
think,
then again, you know what? That's again part of life altogether, right? So essentially, that's the thing. It's about what you put out on social media. Essentially, you put out things on social media that you perceive would look good,
yeah,
and that's as simple as that. If today you were ordering, you know, something from a Michelin star, you know, you'd be comfortable in sharing that maybe on social media if you had that perception. You know, considering people like us, we don't share shit on social media because we just don't, you know,
we
just
don't have
do it.
that.
We are
We
very
don't have
we are
that
very
entertaining life, guys. Most of the
on social
yeah, most
media.
of the time you'll see us, we are just like, you know, shit tired about like running around the whole day, doing a shoot here, working on the tech, working on wireframes, doing this all things, and we just like don't like to promote it before it has already occurred, right? Like, you know, there's this particular type of a goal that you're trying to reach, and before you reach that goal, I think it's something that we learn from a very young age to achievements and everything, that you never share with anyone the progress of your goals before you've already reached them. If
Technically, that's superstition.
yeah, but also I wouldn't do that, right? When if I'm going to sit for a interview for Google, I'm not gonna tell everyone that, bro, tomorrow there's this Google interview and I'm gonna sit over there, because there will always be this fear in
Jinx.
jinx. If it doesn't work out, then it's a face loss for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd not want to say it
Exactly.
altogether. So I think, guys, it was a very fun, you know, chit-chat
Interaction.
conversation about all of this.
Yeah.
The best part is this, that, you know, guys, that we again are building a social media company. So that's why whatever we shared today is actually real life stuff that goes on. Now you are today the audience of this particular talk, and you can perceive it the way you want to. But then again, you know what? It's about life, and that's exactly what it is. So guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll be coming back again with much more wonderful guests later on. You know, we are talking about what's going on in life, okay, and how we are doing things. So today we just talked about quite a couple of very discrete topics. It's all over the place. We
Yeah.
have no memorandum, nothing,
But that's
Yeah.
fun.
but that's fun.
If it offended you, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, so guys, again, tune in next week for another episode of What's Up. And keep following us on social media to, I don't know, just have some fun and waste
Have
some
some
time.
fun.
Munch on some chips maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just chill out, man. Just
Chill out,
see
take it
what's
easy.
up.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.